Hello and welcome to my channel if you're new here. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make cash envelopes for your PM agenda or small ring agenda. This is my Louis Vuitton PM small ring agenda, and basically it is still pocket size, so this should work in any pocket size. You can use whatever hole punch works for yours, but I'm just going to give you an idea of how I make them and give you some measurements, that kind of stuff for this size. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some type of like scoring or scoring board and cutter as well. You're going to need some cardstock, and you're going to need a ruler, and you're going to need some laminating sheets. So I am using the, it's a very inexpensive Scotch brand laminator. So I'm going to give you the measurements. So this is one that I have already cut down to size. So I will give you the measurements. So this is approximately, I'll give it to you up close so you can see. It is just under 5 inches. It's like it's like 2 notches under. And then it is approximately 2 notches less than 6.5, and that is what it looks like. So those are your measurements. And basically when you folding it, you're going to fold it, and then you see I have a little lip here, and that lip is approximately 1/2 inch. So if you do 1/2 inch, you should be okay. So when you open it, you'll see there that it's like a little bit is longer, and then when you open it up, here is where you're going to cut it and score it. So let me show you quickly how that is. So I'm just going to use this as a template, and you're going to cut it down. So all I did was just cut down this. You can use the measurements on your cutter, and that way you are pretty accurate when you do cut it. And so here you go. Now that you have like this rectangular size, as I said, one side will be, I'll show you the measurements there, up to the line where you see is creased. And then the other side should be, and that's in inches, just a little bit, just about 3 inches there. So I do have on my scoring board, so I'm just going to do, I'm just going to match it up here. That way you guys can play around with the configurations, whatever works for your planner size. This is just what works for this one. And then I'm just going to score it on the opposite side of the print. And then that way when I fold it, I do have that little lip here. So this is a better color for you to see what I mean. So you're going to have it like this and open it up almost like a card, because your money is going to go in here. And I'm going to show you how that I'm going to make a seal, because I've seen a lot of videos on making these cash envelope systems, but they do not actually close. They're like open on the top. So I'm going to show you a little hack that I played around with to figure out how I can fasten them closed. So I'm going to grab my laminator. So the first thing you're going to do is keep this folded. So I'm going to stick this one in here like this. And you probably can get maybe 4 on this sheet. So let's do 4. And that way I can use them all. I think I'm not going to do this one. So I did already cut some. So I'm just going to put these on here like this and run it through my laminator. As I said earlier, I am using this Scotch brand. This one is from Walmart. It's probably around $25, $30 for one, or you can buy it probably on Amazon too. And I'm just going to run it through. And you want to make sure that these are not moving. So spread them out pretty well. That way, when they're going through, you'll have room to cut around it. So I'm just going to laminate this and then I will be back. So I am going to leave my laminator on. That way I can run it through again if I feel like the seals have lifted. So let me just cut this out and show you how that looks. So let me just cut out one to show you. And you're just going to slightly cut around it. You don't want it to be too big, you know, a bit of a lip around it, but just enough that you're not cutting into the actual seal. I think this cutter's getting a bit dull. But I leave a generous amount around, that way I know it's not gonna hopefully come undone. I think I might have to grab another trimmer. This one's kind of a little better. And what I want to do is actually run this right through the laminator again. That way I get a good seal on it. But you know what? Let's show you how the hack works first. So now that this is cut like this, you're going to take your ruler. Now that you see, you can see the difference, there's a little lip there. You're going to take your ruler and you're going to run this, or you don't even have to take a ruler. I would probably bring it up close like this, and you're going to run your cutter along here. So you need to be very careful that you don't go through the paper. So I'm just using a little knife here, something good and sharp. And I'm just gonna kind of lift it a little bit. That way I'm not cutting the paper, and I'm just separating this seal that's here. So you want to just take your time and run it along the edge. And you see it's starting to open there. And if you trust yourself, you can definitely put it down and cut it. For me, I'm doing it this way. That way I can feel where the edge is breaking. So now you can see that it is open. That way you have an opening to put your cash in here. So here I left a little bit more, as you could see, of the actual clear edge. That way I have a little bit more in order to fold. So let's score this, and you're gonna score right along here. So you're gonna, where you just had cut open, you're gonna score along the top there. And some people, I know Dollar Tree and stuff, they carry like scoring tools, and you don't necessarily need to have a scoring board to cut it. You can just use whatever you have. So I'm just gonna do this, and I'll show you the scoring tool that I do have. So here is another like scoring tool that you can use with a ruler. I'm just gonna do this, that way it will lay flat. And so now you have your envelope that will now close. So the last thing that you could do is actually use a snap closure, and let me show you what those look like. Here are two like variations of closures here. So what I'm going to show you as well is, now that you have that done, you're going to get like a template. So I'm going to just take my template like this and put it on top, and that way I can mark it off in order like to show where I'm going to cut it, or sorry, hole punch it. So just put little dots there, and I'm going to use a single hole punch, because if you do have a hole puncher, which I do have a 6-hole, I probably would not suggest it because it is pretty thick now that it is laminated and you don't want to break your punch. So I'm just going to do it this way. So now you're just going to punch along here, and I will do that off camera. That way you don't have to sit through kind of watching me punch this. So now that I have put my hole punches in, you can take some of these hooks, which these are from, they're by the brand Craft Medley. I believe Dollar Tree carries both of these fasteners, sort of dots and similar ones. Any dollar store should have something similar. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to just put them on. So you want to use one from each opposite side, and they're both sticky. And then I'm just going to stick that on here at the top. And now you have it fastened. So, I mean, this is just an extra step if you feel like you need it secure. I don't think you need all that because most people end up leaving it open. But if you do want to have an option to fasten it, then you could use that. And now you have it open and you have your envelope. And what I love about this option is that you don't have to stick with just a clear one. You know, you can definitely, if you just want it not to have the flap, you could cut it here and then just do the same process without, you know, just kind of slicing it open. But yeah, this is how it looks. Let me just open this up so I can show you. And then you're just going to stick this in the back or at the front, whichever you feel comfortable. And here you go. You have your cash envelope now. And if you want to take it a step further, you can use a label maker to write what's going inside of them. So if you want to put groceries or you know, shopping, anything like that, you could do that. And I could give you an example. So here are some larger ones that I had made, and all I did was I took my label maker and I wrote what it was for. So this is grocery, and then I just put gas, like eating out as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate it.